combo the fact that spawning in Fridge sucks and running a car is amazing. It's a safe way to run it. So typically you never see a pink side run. If anything, you might see a transition to bottom mid, depending on how things are going. When they run the flag, they might take it through mid. But pink side almost never grabbed. And I think a big part of that is because of the defense that you have, the angles that you have on car side, and the ever-present dynamos. Of course, the heat wave, as powerful as it is, it's just not going to spawn as frequently as those dynamo nades. So some teams, like I know Ryan do, for example, will even elect to, let's say he spawns Fridge, he'll double back to his base and fight from base to car and go that way. He won't even rotate through pink. Though I do find, to counter that, you could overextend, maybe through pink side. You got the long ramps. You try to fly through quickly, but generally, just seems like car's the play. So we'll see how they play it.
Yeah, especially with the dynamo nades, like you said, coming out so fast. I mean, literally, you should be timing those dynamo nades every time they come up. But here we are. Game number 1, landing here on Aquarius. You have the camouflage in the middle of the map. 2 thrusters, 1 on each side. You heard it mentioned before. Heat wave, dynamo grenades, they will come into play. Whoever is able to control the center portion of the map is going to come out on top. Optic and G2 are well aware of it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. This is it, the final match of the day on the B stream. The final match we're casting, Tony, so I hope you're ready to bring your A game for this one. Optic Gaming looking to prove that they can meet the expectations, prove that they can be back on top like they started in Halo Infinite, especially on LAN, right? On LAN, we want to see these boys pop off. G2, though, can they shut them down? Can G2 show us that they're next up instead? This is the proving grounds in a great way, I think, to start the Friday and to kick off a very intense weekend once we move into the bracket.
So, Alex, I got to ask you, who's your player to watch out for on Optic? Who's going to be the difference maker coming in to this series?
I mean, I can't take my eyes off Lucid. He's on top of just being he's a handsome guy, right? He's a playmaker. You can't deny it, right? The moment he picks up a heat wave or any kind of a power-up, he's going to take full advantage of it, even if it's not a power-up. I've seen the man pick up the carbine.
Oh, yeah.
On this map, plasma carbine, and just grab, what did he grab? Almost a Kilimanjaro.
He dropped a triple,
He dropped a triple, and yeah, he was seconds away, I think, from a Kilimanjaro with the freaking carbine. So what can this man do? Apparently anything if you put him in a great spot on the map. We'll see. Of course, Sab, the other man to watch here on G2, so we will kick things off in our final series of the day with Sab.
Both of these teams going immediately to control that car side and that mid control so they can grab hold of the camouflage, which ends up coming into play. You already seen that dynamo grenades that we talked about before coming in, making that player one-shot. Sab getting an easy melee kill, and the first flag is already pulled.
That's beautiful out of G2 to take advantage of both the dynamos and the slays that they got too. Sap shutting down Lucid, gave him an early opportunity to pick up the flag, and he brings it straight on through the utility. Uncontested too, the man hasn't gotten shot yet, and I don't think he will at this rate till the last links to plant the flag. Beautiful gameplay out of G2. They get an early flag off of it.
All right, well, we said Optic might be the better team on paper, but G2 looking to make some waves immediately as the second flag cap is making it over towards the base, and not a single shot fired here towards Tusk.
What? Optic Gaming, I'm wondering what's going on here as they try to gather their footing early on. They finally do manage to get some defense here. Gilkey under fire, and 2 will fly in, get the return as well, so Optic, they're back in. G2 do not cap 2 in a row. Would have been rough. A rough way to start. Thankfully, Ola and the boys are here to defend it.
The Wizard making his way over toward the utility side, has a teammate with them covering his back beautifully as the kill comes in, taking down Tusk. But multiple players are starting to fall here for Optic, and G2 can still take advantage of these numbers.
G2 definitely still in a great spot, assuming they can win their fights, get the re like they did. Got back on board with Gilkey as well. Less than 10 seconds left for the camo to spawn up here, so just needs to preserve his life. Shots into APG. Great shots at that. He'll take the kill. Looks like Straight Sig was in position, though. Got Lucid here as well. Nice little 1v1 that Lucid will walk away with. Positioning onto Carr because of it, too.
He doesn't lose many 1v1 battles. If there's any player I wouldn't want to challenge on the map, it might just be him. Or Pistola with a camouflage who ends up going down immediately, as once again, G2 still having numbers in their favor. And that's, I mean, once you have the numbers, you can really start to get aggressive and put the pressure on your opponent. That's exactly what G2 is doing.
G2 under pressure, though, currently. Tusk, we're on board with him. A lot of pressure, I think, on this man's shoulders, jumping onto G2 in place of Arctic. Is he a difference maker for his team? Thankfully running with the team as he moves up through utility. Here, shots into Ola as well. Can he stay up though? Not quite. The two-man push. Gonna come straight into utility. TriPPPeY gonna take advantage as well. And another kill on the feed and a chance for Optic to move up, take center map here too. We've got the Dynamos on Pistola, so he could put something together here.
Every 30 seconds, those come up, and Pistola grabbing them right as they do. The sidekick comes into play, ends up getting the melee, but not able to utilize those overpowered grenades. 2 down, make that 3 down, go G2, and Optic are on the offense. But hold on, StraightSick ends up going down.
Optic still hammering the doors here. TriPPPeY gonna try to get to the flag. Thankfully, we've got Ola down low to help him out, so TriPPPeY gonna dive and try to shoot as he goes. Gilkey spawning up in Fridge there, going to put some damage in to make things difficult, but Ola in position to collect and escort the flag. Can't quite get it through Pink. And things are looking scrappy here, but if Optic can take their trades, they should be able to move the flag through. We got APG with a kill on the feed already. Ola looking like he's in the clear, assuming he gets through, doesn't quite, but the flag's so close now.
Still a 1-0 lead going in favor of G2. Optic able to get the flag over towards the stairs, but the relay is coming in out of TriPPPeY. And there we go, the nades are flying in, but it's not gonna be enough. We are tied up at 1 apiece as Optic put their first on the board.
And TriPPPeY stays alive too. Having that body there, line of defense to ensure that G2 don't just get away with a counter pull. As I say it though, Tusk does have Dynamos and camo. You can see he's tagging up Ola as well. Ola, not too much you can do in that position. It's just gonna slowly whittle away the shields until the nade does the trick. Got great positioning off of it. Almost shot the teammate there too, but Sab's here to help.
The combination of damage information that the Dynamo grenades give you, that's what makes them so powerful, as Tusk able to find out exactly where that player is, and a couple of nades go in, takes him down, and Tusk doesn't take any damage while doing so, and gets free reign in the base.
Nice.
Goes in for the challenge with the APG, ends up getting the first kill, utilizes the Tusk to get the second one, and Tusk already starting to heat up, gets a hold of the heat wave, but they finally are able to shut him down.
TriPPPeY somehow not able to return a beatdown there. Tusk walks away with a double. They almost get a flag off it. Thankfully, Lucid in position to turn the tides. Lucid still up on Dynamo. StraightSick wants a piece though. Lucid with the sidekick and a delete Sab. Can't quite get the second though. StraightSick gonna shut him down. Keep things at 1 apiece. Scrappy fights here mid-map, Tony. Nobody quite able to break away.
Yeah, but both of these teams are starting to heat up now in this game number 1. You have Tusk already 10 and 7. APG and Lucid both in double-digit kills, and even Pistola is hitting perfect kills over towards the P side of the map. So things are going to start to speed up real soon. I can just feel it.
Feel the wind blowing is what you're saying. Momentum might swing any second here. Sab with a kill onto Ola. Gilkey with one as well. APG with the trade. So once again, I'd say even trades. Back and forth here, Tusk and StraightSick with 2 big opening kills though. That gives him a chance to move up through utility. StraightSick, he's got his teammate left-hand side to help out too, so beauty shots onto Ola to back him off. Can he stay up though? And can they push on through utility to take advantage of the weak players? You can see Tusk is already doing it. APG somehow grabs StraightSick, he flanks through, and then TriPPPeY with Tusk. So once again, G2 not quite able to break away with that strategy, and Gilkey, I don't know if he can break away. Yeah, not gonna break away with that camo.
And that was not good for G2. They had multiple members pushed up here, but APG getting the first one and then ends up getting a double kill after that. So APG doing a great job of stopping the push coming in from G2 seemingly by himself. And that's now going to allow TriPPPeY to push forward towards utility and the car side.
Optic have regained the top map off of this. It'll be so important keeping the pressure up on the base here, especially with the Dynamos too. Perfect shots onto Tusk. APG and Lucid already making the pinch into flag here. So they're gonna have perfect timing too. Lucid with a kill on a StraightSick. Gilkey does take him. Sab down thanks to TriPPPeY. Should have a chance for the flag here too. Spawner's gonna be up in Fridge, and TriPPPeY gonna try to be patient.
3 down when G2 and Tusk was the final player alive. That flag is actually going to be pulled over here. As TriPPPeY trying to get the final kill, not able to do so, ends up being put in the dirt here, but that flag makes it over to the car side. Can G2 get the return?
Definitely a bit of a controller moment out of TriPPPeY there. Couldn't quite swing the reticle, though, like you said, thankfully flag out. Being rallied through car side here. Ola, defensive line. Looks like he does want to collect the flag. Got APG out front to maybe help him out. Ola just needs to make it through utility. They need to get that flag return as well. You can see Gilkey there, line of defense. Not going to make it easy, but the Dynamos will delete him. StraightSick, last one, I guess along with Tusk to try to get to the flag, but not with Ola covering it, you can't.
big kill coming out of Pistola that ends up relaying that flag in. So now we have a 2-1 lead going in favor of Optic Gaming, and they're not slowing down whatsoever. Pistola already getting over towards top car without being shot whatsoever. The dynamo grenades coming in, giving him that information. Now he goes in for the challenge onto Sab, ends up utilizing the thrust to get the perfect kill, but Gilkey comes in for the cleanup, and Tusk is quickly behind him.
Tony, it's hard to deny the stats, the slays we're seeing out of the side of Optic here. When you look at that board and you look at Lucid, I mean, 19 and 11 with 11 assists as well. 16 out of APG. These boys are just slaying. They win their 1v1s. When it comes down to it, you win your fights, you're going to get more opportunities. There's a better chance to get a runaway with those flags. And I mean, Lucid about to run away with a double in a second, assuming his teammate doesn't take it from him. Got Gilkey out front too. Gilkey now in trouble, going to have to skate out. Lucid just on the chase.
Lucid definitely one of the best players with the heat wave. He was definitely one of the first ones to really put it into action, and you're seeing it right there, just dropping bodies left and right, getting car control seemingly by himself. Another one tried to slide into his DMs, but he ends up getting blocked, and now that flag is actually still into play as Lucid putting down the shots onto Tusk, stopping from pushing forward. Beautiful. That flag is going to make it towards the utility side, and it's APG advancing forward.
What a nice little display of teamwork, too. They know their roles in that situation. Lucid, he doesn't go for flag, sits up on top car, has a line of defense, puts shots in. APG knows to drop, slide, pick up flag, take it to utility unscathed. They get that flag in for a 3-1, and now G2, they're feeling the pressure. They're dropping left and right, too. No chance for a counter cap.
Largely considered one of the best players in the game. Lucid, 22 kills, 14 assists, only dying 12 times. We have to get him on screen because this young man is going off. Tommy Wilson, show me something.
I mean, you don't even have to ask. You know, he's just, he's a gentleman about it. He'll make it happen. Unless Straight Sick gets in his face before his shields recharge, I guess. Straight Sick not going to live too much longer, though. TriPPPeY there to make sure that he doesn't go anywhere. TriPPPeY, of course, Lucid's duo for a long time now. They work so well together. There's no doubt, big part of the reason why they pull away with a lot of these games.
Trades go in. Meanwhile, Lucid off a screen ends up getting a big kill and still holding on to that heat wave. Shots start to fly over towards Gilkey. Errors himself another assist. That is 16 on the board. 23 kills, 16 assists. This man is literally doing almost everything for the team. And everybody stepping up behind him. Love it. Love what I'm seeing right now.
All he really has to do at this point is continue to slay, because now time's becoming a factor. We got a minute 30 left on the clock here. Everyone's spawning back base as APG just being a nuisance, putting shots into him. Going to stay alive with camo as well. Straight Sick does take Ola. Maybe that gives him a chance to move up, but that chance not going to last. APG going to take Tusk, Sab with a trade, but I mean, at this point, they continue to lose numbers, and they don't have enough resources left by the time they get to the damn flag.
APG and Pistola really are a nuisance. They must be the two of the most annoying players in the game. You always got to account for where they are. They're so creative, but finally Pistola is going to be taken down courtesy of Sab. Meanwhile, Lucid now having the commando in hands, dodging all of the dynamo grenades and frags as well, trying to defend this base as much as possible. Gilkey goes down to one shot, but the bait and switch going to come in, and Tusk taking down Lucid.
G2 with an opportunity here. Flag in hand, just narrowly getting through the doors here. Sab does have a kill into TriPPPeY as well, so they got the advantage. They got the flag in hand. They can take this up through utility as well. APG does kill Gilkey, but Tusk in position to plant this in. And with limited time to do it, if they can get back to flag here, Tony, they could force a sudden death. So this is not quite over yet. They got to play perfect in the next 20 seconds.
It's not going to be easy, but G2 are within striking distance. They have less than 20 seconds to get a flagpole, and they have to get the slays as well. Tusk, well aware of it, ends up getting a big kill, but he's going to be shut down. Momentary 2 down for G2, and Lucid going to slow things down on the utility side.
Lucid going to play goalie. Can he do it, though?
Oh, come on.
No way. And did you see the bag there? He dropped out a couple tactical crouches. He knew that was over. Straight Sick. At the very least, you want to see that man get a trade in that situation, but it's the pivotal 1v1s. That's what it comes down to. And Optic, they just win more often than not, especially when you got Lucid popping off.
The green wall, pulling out the defense there to stop G2 from forcing the sudden death. And they're going to go up 1-0 in this series. Both of these teams undefeated in pools, but only one can emerge the same.
Undefeated until about 35 minutes from now, Tony. Things are about to change. Somebody going to go down, and at this moment, looks like G2 are poised to be them, I guess, the victims. We'll see. They still got a shot, of course, but what an opening game. And I think that really did tell us the story of how things are going to go in this series. Lucid, what, at least 25 kills? I think he had the Heat Wave, and he had the Dynamos a couple situations, but it's the way I think that his teammates stay alive to give him opportunities to be the main slayer that he is. You talked about Ola, and you talked about APG, and just, they're so annoying. They don't die. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it must be really nice for Lucid to have two players that are willing to poke and dodge, and dodge, stay alive, and then Lucid slides in there and gets multiple kills.
Slides on it.
And then also, when you have the mastery of the Heat Wave, let me tell you, I don't think I've ever gotten a two-shot with the Heat Wave. One man who has, it's definitely Lucid.
You've never got it to come out, Tony.
I'm telling you.
Turn it vertical.
3 shots only. I got it vertical. I got it. It just don't work. It's broken.
All right, we got to get you back in training mode or something. We'll figure it out. Either way, it's not just the Heat Wave. I think Lucid, a few other players do this like Lucid does. It's control of the entire sandbox.
Yes.
The Plasma Carbine, I think, is a perfect example. Not too many players are picking it up and using it like he does. And when it comes to sandbox, the deepest sandbox out of all competitive maps, I believe, is right here on Recharge. You got a Needler, you got a Plasma Pistol, you got a Disruptor Pistol, you got a Mangler on here, you got a Camo Bottom Mid, you got the Sword, you got the Shock Rifle, you got a Grapple, you got a Repulsor. Really, no, Commandos, there's 2 of them. There's one in Attic, there's one in Control.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much on this map. It's Lucid's playground. Can they put him down in game 2? We'll see.
We're going to find out right here, right now, as game number 2 is on the way, and we have to start on board with Lucid himself. And look at the beautiful shots to start off the game, going right at Gilkey. And now the challenge on the Tusk, you cannot stop him. Starting things off with a double kill here in Slayer.
Starting things off with a bang, that's for sure. It is only 3-2. Things are still very close, unless Ola makes a change to it. Now 5-2. G2 Esports at a deficit and about to spawn in the middle of a pinch as well. You can see the shell formed around the map here. You've got a teammate that's trippy pushing up through pipes, and it's forcing them out into long haul. They got to make a decision, and I like the attempt, but it doesn't matter. Ola's a freaking wizard. He'll find a way to kill Gilkey there.
Ola almost walking himself into a back smack, but somehow able to turn on that player, gets the kill. Now goes in for the challenge onto long haul, almost able to get the second one, as multiple are going to fall here for Optic Gaming, and G2 now having a chance to bounce back.
Like you said, those kills are huge to earn the map back. Unless TriPPPeY shuts him down, but they don't. They kill TriPPPeY quickly. Okay, so Shock now down in B. Gilkey doesn't want to desperate for it. The remaining 3 members of Optic, they're pushing like a unit up through C and trying to rotate through the map and be elusive. We got APG, of course, on screen. Wants to make sure nobody gets to that Shock. I think the Shock is still sitting out center. As I say, we got Lucid with a sword. Don't give this man a grapple. He's got a repulsor, so just wait. He's going to play this patient, but things might get dicey.
2 players here on the control side of the map here. Lucid trying to help out towards the goal, so I got to be careful. Don't shoot your teammate too much, and holding on to the bottom tower is Lucid. So I love this setup coming here out of Optic Gaming. They already have the lead, so why not slow the game down and force G2 to make a move?
G2 with the respect, though, too. They're slowing it to a crawl as well. Nobody wants to make a move. They need that opening slay for impact here, and TriPPPeY, being the aggressor, sits on top of Camo, gets it, too. Looks like Gilkey can't return fire, but Sab can! Not sure where he was, but Sabby had an angle, and he just ripped TriPPPeY's face off in the Camo off the map as well. So G2, great work with that one.
Lucid now going to advance forward over toward the long haul side. It looks like they want to make a move onto the gold side of the map. Lucid putting down the early shots onto the players in Whirlpool. Now whipping out the sword. Player having no idea. Goes down. The Predator's in. Another one in his sights. Not able to get it just yet. Oh, and there's the double kill onto Straight Set.
Man, when you got a sword, it's so brutal. Even if you're like no shields, if you melee trade with the sword player, it's going to red bar every time. That's just how it works in this game. Sword is so strong in those trades, and you're going to go down to it. Lucid, knowing that, you got to love how he moves with his sprint, too, to avoid fire. We'll see if Sab can do something special to steal our attention, though. Tony, he's still got the Shock. He's got positioning once again in APG. Be careful, APG. He can take faces.
And one thing I'm noticing, which is really unorthodox for both of these teams, is there's 0 assists across the board for 6 out of the 8 players in here. Finally, Ola able to pull off an assist, but a lot of individual gunfights, especially alongside the G2, where all 4 assists are going to Tusk and everybody else having 0 on the team. But we're finally starting to see some come onto the board here.
Starting to wonder if Sab might have rotated a little too far with that shock. Ended up getting double for it. If he just plays it patient, holds the angle, he's locking off a section of the map. Thankfully for him, though, Tusk does collect the shock. Maybe he can bring it back here. There's a player directly above, though. Tusk, does he hear it? Mangler in hand. It's APG. APG not ready for this. And there's no chance of survival for him either. Turn this into 2, Tusk, or stay alive. I mean, as long as he's here, it's valuable.
One of the only players that I've seen actually have a Mangler and a shock rifle as a combo and really putting it to work is Tusk. I'm surprised he hasn't decided to drop that Mangler or something else for another player, but I mean, as long as it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as APG sliding in, and I believe he was able to get away with the camo and activate it as well.
That was a game-changing headshot that Tusk was tasked with there. Unfortunately, it didn't hit it, Tony, and because of it, APG now has free reign. Look at this. How does he play it? Straight sick. Oh, he throws a nade. Doesn't matter. Gonna take a free back smack. Straight sick will call that out, though. Sab is now aware. And what does APG do to win 2 fights? Beautiful on the Gilkey. Almost gets out, but Tusk is ready for it. Lucid down low, too. And look at the dance from Lucid here as he's once again a difficult kill.
Lucid ends up going down. Sab going to be awarded the kill for that one. We're going to hop on board now with Sabinater having the shock rifle, probably the most important player in the game right now. Only down by 2 kills, but this can be the difference maker.
Yes, it can. Perfect out of Sab, and it can continue too. Ola trapped up in control. G2, they've got map control off of this, right? An extension from Attic all the way over to A. This is exactly where they need to be. And it gives Sab the opportunity he's been waiting for to line up shots. So hopefully this can continue. Tony, wait a sec, this might be it right here. Just don't challenge the man. Lucid's sitting down low too. Oh! Don't challenge him.
Another big shot coming out of Sabinater with the shock rifle. Now going to take some damage. Finally forced to back down, but he still has Gilkey along the gold side of the map as he tries to line up the no-scope. Not quite hitting it.
Sab still trying to lock it down from pipes, playing it patient. Something we've noticed with G2, starkly different from other teams. They just hold position. They know they've got a good spot in the map. Why move? Optic, they need to find a way through, though. They need to break in, whether it's a flank. Maybe APG will be the one to do it. Maybe he can sneak up through. Maybe Ola instead. He'll take the fight onto straight sick. And that's the opening that they're looking for. It gives him high ground in an angle cross map into Gilkey. All of a sudden, G2's options limited.
Pistola shots flying in from the control side of the map, and even Lucid coming in from the whirlpool, but that player being annoying on the B side pillars ends up getting away with their life, and APG just chilling over toward the gold side, rent-free at the moment. It's 27-23, and TriPPPeY having the camouflage and the sword goes right in after straight sick. His teammate ends up taking down Gilkey over towards the C stairs, and Optic are really starting to put some separation in the scoreboard.
Great rotation out of TriPPPeY, too. He gets out of bottom map up to a great spot. Looks like Tusk is still in a fight out in pipes, though, here. He does get away with the... Actually, no, Ola will take him. So TriPPPeY being in this spot, huge anchor position, too. You can see Lucid, his teammate, cross map. He can light things up, but he's got to watch his left-hand side. Lucid, Ola going to tag team their way through A in the meantime. And this is the split they're looking for. TriPPPeY about to go in for a pinch here. Oh, okay. I mean, that's one way to close the distance.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When you combine the grapple with the sword, you are an absolute unit. You're seeing it to play by TriPPPeY, and now you're seeing Lucid utilizing the Mangler, but the assist going to come in. But Lucid will fall. Pistola coming in out of play. Straight sick getting a big kill off a screen here as it is 35-28, still in favor of Optic Gaming.
You could definitely come back off this. G2 can, I mean, they can find an answer. It's been a slow battle of attrition here, Tony, but it's just, it seems like the lead continues to extend despite the game plan at a G2. It's a little unorthodox, too. I don't think I've ever seen a Recharge Slayer at this pace, Tony, to be honest. And at first, I felt like it was working for G2, but now is hard to say. 37 at this point, and Optic, they continue to pull away.
I was gonna say, what's working? I'm looking at the scoreboard right now. It ain't working.
It was earlier. I mean, I was like, okay, this is cool. They're holding position. They got map control. They're not giving up free deaths. But now it's just, it doesn't matter. They're being pinched, running out of opportunities. And I mean, the Mangler's gonna put him down too. Ola with 2. And Ola doesn't even want the sword. Maybe give it to TriPPPeY. Man, they got everything.
They got all the power weapons along with a 10-kill lead at the moment. Pistola going in for the challenge onto Straight Sick. However, he is going to be shut down, but look at the damage. It's been done. There's an 8-kill advantage going in favor of Optic Gaming.
TriPPPeY just going to hold things off in the hallway. The other long haul as well. We got Ola sitting there too. Lucid just going to sit with the sword. The pace of play in this game slowed to a crawl. And will it move? Why bother, right? Optic doesn't need the budge here, Tony. Lucid just going to sound, can we say sound whore on broadcast? He's just going to listen for footsteps. Straight Sig knows he's there too, and he does not want to budge.
Daddy doesn't. Neither one of these teams want to make any mistakes whatsoever. The remote detonation coming in, but not able to get the kill. Still, great damage coming in.
The slowest game of Recharge Slayer I've ever seen, Tony. I mean, I respect it, but we got to see a play. We need to see a play at a G2. We need to see it quick. Time's starting to become a factor, too. You can see it bleeding. We're about to hit the 2-minute mark. Sab just going to continue to put shots in, but knows he can't stay out long. He's got Tusk with him, too. How do they break through? Just one big kill. Do you just send multiple through an angle, right? Do you just say, you know, let's send Straight Sick and Gilkey straight through the hallway, just assault Lucid. Or Lucid just waits too. And that's the communication too. They knew they were taking his attention, and then Lucid timed his approach perfectly. So did Sab. My God, a double.
Double kill coming out of Sab. Both Lucid and Sab having a sword in hands. And with 1 minute and 46 seconds on the clock, it looks like G2 will have to make a move. We might see a sword-on-sword action, but Lucid ends up being taken down over towards the gold side. Gilkey ends up getting a big kill as well onto APG, and now gold side control in favor of G2.
I really wanted to see that sword fight, Tony.
I did too.
Unfortunately, we didn't get it. 43-36 here, still not out of the running for G2. And Sab, he's got everything he could need, except his life, unfortunately. Ola Lucid, what a nade at a Lucid too to shut him down. Now it's up to Tusk with a lot of responsibility, and so far so good. Perfect kill on the TriPPPeY. Who else is a victim here? Lucid up top, doesn't quite hit it. He's still going for it here. 38-45, they drop, and it's over.
Tusk still having that shock rifle in hands and also having a sword, advancing forward into the control side. Nobody there just yet, but he does also have a teammate there. Body shot's barely gonna miss. Lucid ends up getting the trade off, and all four down go G2, and that might be it. Optic only needing one more kill.
That looked like the kind of push a team would do if they have less than a minute left to win the game, Tony, because it just looked exasperated. It looked like they were under pressure. They're like, we gotta push now. We gotta make it happen or it's game over, and they did, and it was sloppy, and because of it, Optic Gaming walk away with a 50-40 in game 2 as well. A long-fought battle from these teams, but Optic right now, they're leading.
That they are. It's a 2-0 lead in favor of Optic. G2 have looked good and multiple times during this series so far, but they haven't seemed to put it all together to create a game, and now they're in danger of being knocked out in this series here and not coming out on top. Again, coming out on top in your pools means you're guaranteed to get into winner's bracket round number 2 when we go into bracket play.
Right. Interesting game to witness, though. And, you know, it takes me back to the interview we saw with Ola and the fact that the meta is always changing, always evolving. That Recharge Slayer played very differently than any other Recharge Slayer I've seen previously. They tend to go so quickly, especially if you're watching a team like Optic. They're like C9. They're very quick to collapse on split spawns and just, you know, get right in there. As opposed to this matchup where we just saw one team hold off one section of the map, one team on the other, and just kind of waiting for that impact play. Unfortunately, this long-term battle didn't quite work out for G2. Maybe it will here. Oddball on Streets. Can't quite play the map the same way this time. You've got an objective to fight over.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I mean, if any map you can slow things down, it's probably going to be on Recharge, but going into a really small map like Streets, they're guaranteed to be forced to get into multiple engagements, especially as you advance forward to try to break some of the setups that both of these teams want to get their hands on.
And what kind of setups do we want to see here, Tony? What are you thinking?
I mean, the Seaside setup is still somewhat strong, but I'm still preferring the APD side. I feel like
Definitely.
all you have to do is have multiple eyes on the B Street, have somebody either top A or some way watching that mid angle, and having one person watching the purple street, and you have literally all lanes being blocked off. Meanwhile, you're holding height advantage. You're looking down on your opponent. You're getting cheeky damage while making it hard for your opponent fighting uphill. I'm still a fan of that PD side setup.
The combination of the high ground plus the map control, I mean, yeah, what do you do, right? You got 4 players in great positions. Like you said, you spread them out on the perimeter, you get the ball back A. If you get the stalker up there, I mean, it's game over. You've got sight lines straight through center map. You can drop them pretty easily, I mean, hopefully, off of it. Not to say that the setup can be broken, too, but if it is broken, then you just toss the ball out center and kind of reset things as well. So we'll see what these teams do. Of course, Subway side works as well. Any of these setups can work as long as your teammates are in the right position. You got the right timing for it, and you time it around something like a rocket launcher as well. It's going to always pull the teams into center. And
that's exactly what's going to happen, right? You know, no matter what the setup is on the map, as soon as those power-ups start to come up, it's going to force teams to break off from their setup and make sure they get a hold of the goodies. Otherwise, your opponent's going to get them, and your setup's going to get broken anyway. So the Rockets are going to heavily come into play. That Bulldog can definitely be a difference maker on the map. I'm a big fan of the Bulldog. I'm sorry. It's just...
I think it's the best shotty we've seen in competitive yet, to be honest. Shotguns in Halo, I feel like, have always been kind of controversial because of the play style associated. If you can one-pump somebody with a shotgun, you can just sit behind a wall. And I think in Halo 5 we saw that a lot. Top tower on Rig, you just sit there, you just wait for somebody to get close, just one-shot them. There's no counterplay, there's no dance. But I think the Bulldog, it's still powerful, but there's still an opportunity to counter. So makes for some good gameplay, at least in competitive. And we'll see that competitive gameplay very shortly. The match is still getting started. As soon as it's ready, we're going to jump in. And thankfully, it looks like we're almost there.
That we are. Game number 3. Optic Gaming are literally 1 win away from putting G2 out of it. G2 fighting for their pool lives right now. They do not want to go down it. And we've seen reverse sweeps happen before. Will we see it again, Alex?
I hope so. It's the last matchup of the day here. Give me a Game 5 G2. Show me you got the energy. Show me that you came to play. I know they did. Optic might be one of their top competitors to face, but if you could beat Optic, I mean, the sky's the limit. So this is it right here. Their last opportunity in the last series of the day. Streets, Oddball. Who should we start with, Tony? It might not happen, but just...
I mean, we got to start with Lucid. I mean, Lucid literally is an animal on any map that he's on, but especially Streets. I talked about it before, though. I think G2 have been looking really good in tournament play and in scrims, and I want to see them put it together here on land. So I want to see G2 put a win on the board, but it's going to start right here. I truly believe in these guys. Let's see what happens.
Ask and you shall receive. Game 3 on board with Lucid. And who else but Lucid to start things off? TriPPPeY with the opening kill. Lucid with a bead on Gilkey cross map. Gonna slowly tiptoe his way out to either the ball or the rockets. Looks like instead he wants the shotgun. APG with the rocks. He'll take a kill from the grave. Lucid still up. Lucid gonna try to rotate ball and work with the shotty as well. You can see TriPPPeY already flanked through, but Lucid now down numbers. Thankfully not down artillery.
Yeah, 3 down win Optic, so you're seeing Lucid quickly start to drop the ball because he has to get some slays on the board before they're able to make an advantage here. Meanwhile, Sab sees the down ball. He's going to steal it away. G2 are taking advantage of their numbers, and Gilkey having the Stalker rifle on the purple side of the map.
Despite the strong opening we saw at Optic Gaming there, they got the slays they needed to, brought the ball back. I love the attempt at a Gilkey. Unfortunately, he didn't get the kill. But they earned time off of it, 17 seconds too. That's about to change though. Lucid back in Subway. Lucid with a vantage point on the Tusk as well. Gonna try to stay up, give themselves a chance for the ball.
17-7 lead going in favor of G2 at the moment, but Lucid quickly getting his hands on the ball, not able to get away though. Does Optic Gaming with that ball, and they're starting to fall here as 3 down go Optic Gaming. TriPPPeY, the final player alive to try to fend off this ball. Beautiful play. One grabs the ball. Gilkey then uses his body to kind of meat shield for the enemy team, and TriPPPeY not able to put any shots on that ball carry. The setup is now becoming locked in by G2.
Gilkey is okay with dying or taking a couple shots as long as Sab walks away with a few extra points, right? 29 at this point. Unfortunately, if they all die, Optic's going to very quickly turn the tides here. TriPPPeY just looking for a victim of the Sentinel Beam. Can't do it. Shoddy going to work out for Sab instead. Tusk has the ball once again. So G2, like you said, you've seen them in scrims. You've seen the practice they put in. They could put it together here. Unless, of course, the Rockets make a change to it. But even Ola has to work for these Rockets.
We've actually seen multiple 3 down go in favor of G2, and this is the G2 that I wanted to see. I mean, they've showed so much improvement, and now they're putting it to work right here with a 43-10 lead. Lucid ends up getting a double kill, though, and now they're going to try to advance forward and break this setup as 2 down, make that 3 down, make that all 4 players going down for G2.
That double at Lucid was the push they needed. It gave the rest of the team the confidence to fly in, clean up the scraps, and then recollect the ball. Straight does get his kill. APG immediately answers. So ball still on the side of Optic Gaming. You're 25 and counting. G2, it's their turn to provide an answer. If you're going to answer it, yeah, take Lucid first. That's a great opening.
And APG going down the 1 shot, ends up going in for the challenge. Sab winning that individual gunfight. Optic still putting points on the board. Sabinater now going to try to catch any kind of angle to try to put that initial damage that they need. Straight ends up getting the kill, but Lucid cleaning him up real quick, and Sabinater still alive over towards that back C side.
Not for long, though. Ola's got a beat on him. Got Lucid behind him, too, with the pinch, so Lucid will take it. Ball down. Ola looking to pick it up. Does he want to hold it, though? He's got the shotty. And then I think Lucid he's got a Sentinel Beam, too. They got all the weapons they need. Gonna clean up Gilkey for free as well. Lucid with the thrust can get right back into cover. Gonna keep the defense up, and if he stays up, he'll be in position for Rockets, and I guess Stalker, too. He's got it all. Thankfully, they do kill Ola, so Lucid's got to back off. Who's gonna get the Rockets, though?
TriPPPeY is going to be advancing forward over towards back C, able to get his hands on the ball, so that Rocket's not up quite yet. But Optic in a great position to bait it, especially as taking G2 down and Straight going to go down as well. And there we go. APG having the Rockets in hand. That's going to be a quick kill onto his team, a former teammate, Gilkey. And APG holding on to that B-side street by himself with the Rockets in hand.
This is something you can't see happen in Oddball, right? In a situation like this where, like, how do they have everything, right? They got the ball in back C. That means that there's a player committed in back C who can't do much damage, who's sitting back there collecting time. So G2, they're at a numbers advantage. And you would think with a numbers advantage, you would win the fight for Rockets, but something didn't quite click. And because of it, now they're running away with both ball time and resources and slays to add to it, too. TriPPPeY, he will go down to Tusk, but 87 at this point. Okay.
I don't know what something definitely clicked. It definitely clicked in favor of Optic, maybe not from G2, but something definitely clicked. Meanwhile, the bad manners starting to come in on the kill feed as maybe some players starting to get a little bit frustrated here as it's a 67-57 lead going in favor of Optic Gaming.
Can G2 reverse this? Can they get a hold, but can they also prioritize weapons? Because that's what Optic has been doing so well in this game. Even if they're down numbers, they find a way to transition, to get the angles in when they need to, just to make sure they walk away with a weapon. Of course, in the meantime here, set up still and hold for G2, 73 and counting. Gilkey, nice use of the drop wall. Gonna snap onto Ola too, he's now down. Do you drop the ball, get the slate? You do, Sap picks that up, so 78 and counting as they close the gap.
Love the drop wall play coming in out of Gilkey, and I love the fact that they're playing such hard defense. G2 are trying to make a run here. They know what's on the line, but Lucid slides in, ends up getting the initial kill, then whips out the Bulldog to get the double kill. Straight getting the cleanup kill, but 3 down go G2, leaving Straight by himself.
G2 with a double dilemma here. Rocket's about to spawn up, but Optic has the ball. They need to get to the ball. They can't afford to go to Rockets here, so 7 points. Gilkey's still a nuisance in back base. Can Gilkey at least get a kill here? Does manage to get a trade. Ball still down. Optic in position to pick it up, though, and I don't see anyone from G2. There, we got Straight with the Rockets. Straight will just fire one into back base and hope for something, but it's not enough. The first round gonna go over to Optic, and a nice display of teamwork to close it.
I'm not going to lie to you, Alex. I was a believer for a second. I really thought G2 was going to come back and steal that game away. However, Optic Gaming just does what Optic Gaming do best. 2-0 lead going in favor of the green wall.
They're prioritizing the right things at the right time, right? In the very end there, all they needed was the ball time. Despite losing the Rockets there, they had the positioning, they had the ball, they walked away with it. Now Lucid, I mean, he's got the stalker. He's already got an opening kill. A beat onto Gilkey too. Gilkey, watch out. Sab, watch out. Almost killed himself. Did he get a kill with that? I think he might have got the rocket kill, I hope. Maybe not.
And we see Pistola, you're getting a disruptor kill. We don't see many disruptor kills coming in, but the sandbox really being opened up. Pistola trades off that disruptor for the Rockets, ends up putting it to work immediately as Optic Gaming quickly go into their setup.
Optic with a setup on high ground this time in PD. Sab and Tusk with 2 kills, so very quickly, ball played out to center. APG knows he needs to slay, and slay he will. Tusk now down. APG might kill himself in a sec. Might have thought that was a frag. Looks like Lucid does drop as well. APG still going to try to stay up in this situation, but things looking very dicey for the man as Straight Sick drops him. Can they get to the ball and convert this, though? I like that rotation. A little brief moment of time here.
Straight Sick able to steal that ball away while avoiding as much damage as possible and then living rent-free over on the tire side. Excellent job by him for valuing his life and cheeking away so much ball time as he's still alive, putting points on the board. Tusk now going to chase down APG, going down to 1 shot, but more importantly, getting the kill.
Getting the kill gives him the position to get more kills, too. Shots into TriPPPeY. He's down numbers, though. Look at this. Ola, Lucid through the door. What do? The full team collapsing on the man. And ball time, well, they do it. 15 and counting here. Lucid talked about his use of the sandbox. Carbine back in hand here.
And there we go. Firing off that pulse carbine, getting a little bit of damage in, and now starting to up the tempo. Ends up finding Gilkey onto the purple street side, but you got to deal with Sab first. Sab and Tusk working a little 1-2 combo. Bait and switch comes in, and G2 once again getting a bit of numbers.
Did G2 walk away with Rockets, though? That's the biggest question, right? Because Rockets were spawning. They got 2 pivotal kills. There. Yep, Straight Sick has it. And he got a kill onto Ola as well. This is the difference maker. If G2 can walk away with more power weapons this time, I think they can hold a setup. So Straight Sick, I mean, look at that. Beautiful. TriPPPeY now down, shoddy in hand. That's the type of weaponry he needs.
Ends up utilizing the last rocket to take down the Bulldog player, gets himself a Bulldog. Man, everything going in favor of Straight Sick. But I would like to actually see him trade off this ball for somebody and really kind of make use of that Bulldog. But we're going to see exactly how that comes into play as they're still holding on to their setup. Gilkey off the screen, getting the double kill. Straight Sick immediately dropping the ball, trying to get that Bulldog kill. But sadly, when with dropping the ball and pulling the Bulldog out, it's just too much timing where if he didn't have the ball in hands, that would have been an easy kill.
Right, if he passes the ball off and he's just sitting at the doorway with a shotgun, that's an easy kill like you said. Lucid, I like the movement there too. Going to be very difficult as he sits perched on the ledge. He does die. But yeah, G2 with little opportunities here that they can't quite turn into large score totals. Maybe it's slight misplays, maybe it's timing, whatever it is. Tusk is still finding ways to maneuver here. 49 and counting. The pressure about to be on from Optic though.
Lucid trying to slide and taking a little bit of team damage here. The ball just sitting over towards that mid, and Lucid wants to be the forward player instead of grabbing the ball. Love that play coming by Lucid. High IQ play, but not able to get the trade off in kills as 3 down go Optic Gaming, and G2 once again are poised to make a run.
G2 immediately off the round of slays. They take the ball, they bring it back into Subway, so efficient play to them. Rockets are going to draw their attention once again, though. Sab just died. Lucid in position. They got to find a way to get a sightline on the Rockets here, or they will give them up. Tusk in a great spot to do it. Straight Sick with the angle. TriPPPeY going to try to push through that hallway. He's likely going to face off with Tusk, and he does. Got Straight Sick as a line of defense. He's got to ice up here and hit these shots. Can he do it through the plants? Probably not. I think Optic going to walk away with that rocket.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen at home, both of these teams are undefeated at the moment. The winner of this goes into winner's bracket round 2, going into bracket play. Both of these teams want this, but only one can come out with that advantage going into tomorrow. 3 down go G2. Gilkey, the final player alive with the Bulldog, but not able to get the kill as Optic Gaming once again having all the advantages.
G2 definitely looking a little bit more flexible in their strategy this time. It was quite a fight for Optic to get these rockets, so they did get them. And I love that out of TriPPPeY too, doesn't burn them. I think any other player could have panicked in that situation, but TriPPPeY, instead he gets so much more. He'll take Gilkey, just barely alive. Looks like he will get dropped. I think the rockets might be burned though.
TriPPPeY ends up being taken down. G2 are going to start to push forward. Actually, Lucid going to be the first one to die, or the second one, I should say, excuse me. Tusk now advancing forward with that Bulldog as that ball is rotating toward the purple side. Tusk gets the kill, now going in for the double. Just going to barely miss that nade. Watch out, don't nade yourself. They still got a player in front of you, and sadly, he's going to go down, but the cleanups come in. Optic go 3 down, and G2 are still locked in.
G2 fighting tooth and nail. They're brawling. Now 81 points. And they could close this out with one more good setup. Lucid, though, you got to shut him down if that's going to happen. Lucid now has the ball, going to rotate it out to A here. TriPPPeY above to help up on Heaven. Who breaks out, though? Tusk definitely not the one to do it. 3 members still up on G2 to try to push.
Optic Gaming still down in points, but they're only 1 round away from closing out this series. G2 would have to put back-to-back rounds on the board. Lucid fighting off with the Bulldog, ends up getting the first player, goes back for the double chow. That's going to be a double kill coming out of Tommy Wilson, who's starting to heat up.
You don't want Lucid heating up late game in Oddball here. Things about to get dangerous for G2 if they don't kill him quick. Especially with TriPPPeY and the Rockets as well. Look at that, 2 dead on the feed, ball in their hands, and TriPPPeY still hasn't even used these yet. He could put something together real quick. Nice little curb slide too, can't ignore it. Gets him right back and forth. He can go from B stairs back and forth with the movement here, be elusive. All for that one moment that he gets a rocket kill.
TriPPPeY able to take down Kilkey, anticipating the push for the cleanup, ends up getting Straysick down to 1 shot, not able to get the kill, but luckily the cleanups are coming in. Meanwhile, Tusk throwing some denial nades, but Ola gonna put him down, and that is it. Optic Gaming pull off the sweep onto G2, and they're gonna be going to winner's bracket round 2 in tomorrow's bracket.
Unbelievable. What a heartbreaker too for G2. They had that round. It was a slow, hard-fought battle, but they were winning their fights. They had control in C in multiple occasions. They even prioritized power weapons throughout the first, I want to say, 2/3 of that game more efficiently than they did in the first round. But at the very end, 1 setup was all it took for Lucid and Optic to break through. And that 1 setup, unfortunately, was coupled with every single weapon, right? Lucid had the shoddy, TriPPPeY waiting down low B stairs with the Rockets. The combination of it all, plus the ball time, I mean, G2, they couldn't find an answer. And I mean, you look at the scoreline, that tells you quite a bit.
That it does. Lucid pulling off a 25 bomb. Ola with 24 of his own. Lucid also dropping 12 dimes as well in the assist column. They're just beautiful plays across the board. It just shows how Optic were able to take control of that game. G2, they had moments, but sadly that wasn't enough. Now your number 1 seeded team going into Raleigh end up going into bracket play undefeated.